Yeah. No? Okay. Alright. Yeah. What? Okay, go on. No, I'm just live streaming. I have an issue with the internet again. It's aggravating. Yeah. So, I really don't know. Unfortunately. I might have to, yeah, pretty much. Alright, love you. I'll see you. Bye. I still don't understand what is going on with my code, man. I don't feel like it's wrong. Not that code. So me and my coworker is working on a game. He's got most of the stuff on his. This is I'm just doing the code for it. He's doing the map. So this ain't the actual map that we have. But I'm having some issues with my code. I can't figure out. I don't think it's my code. I really don't. Because I even went to Google and found some other people's code to try, and that didn't work. It just doing the same thing. I don't know if I should reinstall Unity or what. It's kind of aggravating. And this is still stuck at 99. Well, I'm gonna leave my computer on all night then. I don't care. I don't know why this is doing this. I might take it to. I might install the game on a whole nother drive. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it open. It's my SSD, but I have an M.2, so I wonder if I'm what drive am I installing it to? Hold on. Am I installing it to my SSD? Why is that? Wait. I have plenty of RAM. Of plenty of you know space. I don't understand. I'm just gonna leave it open. But here we are. So I have the game, but when you run it, it moves by itself. I mean, you can still move it with AD and movement keys, but I don't know why it's moving by itself. I've never had that issue before. If I open up my code, open in C sharp. Okay, so here's the code I've written by scratch because I know C sharp pretty well. I have a book. I read a whole book about that big of C sharp. So I have two variables up here. Well, four variables. I'm grabbing the Y input and the X input, rigid body, and then I have my rigid body. Everything's up here. I even tried to freeze rotation, freeze gravity, or gravity, or use gravity false. I thought this was gonna get rid of it, but it didn't. Uh, so I comment to myself, raw input prevents drifting from smoothing. But I thought that if I can make a variable X input and Y input and split them, that it would work. Didn't work. Then I tried to call the velocity vector 3.0. That didn't work. And then I tried to move position, move time, move speed, time, fix, delta time. That should be depending on your FPS. That didn't work. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'm should be the easiest thing to do. It's just moving myself, no big deal. I mean, you can still move it and stop it from moving, and move it where you want to, but it shouldn't. I mean, it should not move until the player gives input. I don't know why it's doing that. So I'm waiting for one of my buddies to get a hold of to get back with me to figure out if he has any ideas because I'm gonna try everything I can think of, and I've been doing this stuff a long time. Never had this issue before. I don't know if I should. I don't know if it's something on Unity or what. And I just got, like I said, I just got a plain map right here. Nothing special. He's making the map. I'm doing the code, and I'm just trying to get everything to work before I sent him the code. It ain't working. It's kind of aggravating. So I mean, you can still move it. I mean, that works. The code getting some input. You can move it any direction you want. with your AD and SW keys. But the moment you let go, it's like you got something pulling against you, and it looks like it's going straight back to you. But if you restart it, it automatically drifts to the left. I think. No, it's just going backwards. I wonder if I'm forgetting something. My God, I'm gonna have to play with it this weekend, dude. I gotta figure out what the hell's going on with that. But it's so aggravating, man, because I've done it so many times. I made quiz games. I made matchmaking games. I made a lot more 2D games than anything. I made Flappy Bird. I redid Flappy Bird. It's been years since I've done iPhone apps and stuff like that, but I do more websites than anything. So I went to online schooling for that. So luckily I can pull up my online schooling and check out all the classes, all the notes and everything. Because even though you complete your class or you complete all your stuff, they keep everything on the website in like a little folder of all the classes you did. You can click on it, check out everything you went over. And uh what made me better is when my teacher would be like, "Hey, I need you to copy." He'll give me something like a website and say, "I want you to copy this. I want you," or he'll give me something and say, "Hey, copy this for your code." That was hard because I had no idea what I was doing. You know what I mean?
And I do not.
Come on. There we go. So I'm proud of this website I made. For this YouTuber. If I can find it. I got so much stuff in here. Right here. I had to make a backup just in case I messed something up, or I how to debug something. I broke something completely because that happens a lot in programming. You break something, then you got to figure out what the heck's going on. Like that's going on with that cube. I don't know what's going on with that. That's why you always make backups. Something breaks, you can always revert back to a stable version, I guess. I got a lot of stuff in here. Let's just open up the folder. So you have this website that I made for him. Fully responsive, which took me forever to do. And I was like, he said he wanted a clean website. So instead of having all these icons be their own little page, this is the only one that has its own page. And it says failed to load posts, 'cause I don't have any posts in it right now. But all these, I just made like into sections, so that they look like they're their own links, but they just go down to the home page. You can just scroll down to them. They just snap down to the areas that is interesting, and then it shows his latest video. So this is his latest video that he has, whether it's a short or a full video. That took me a while to do. I had to go to Google, get the API, then I had to go to YouTube, get his channel API and channel ID. That took a lot of work, but the website is not fully secured security wise. So a lot of stuff I had to take out. Like I'm working on this because I don't know a lot of I don't know a lot of behind the scenes like server side of stuff. That's why I get my friend to help me with. I attempted to do it in JavaScript, and every time I would like do a web like where he has to log in, it would show all they gotta do is go to source code, view the source code, and it would show the password. That's not good. So I don't know back end server stuff. So I have to have my friend set that up. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that at all. But my website that I made for me, for my work, for TaxSim casual callouts for LSPDFR, 20 callouts on that, I'm not happy with it. It looks like absolute crap. I mean, this looks way better than mine. Probably because I took more time on it, but my website is just complete crap. I've been working on it, trying to make it better. Where's it at? Where is it at? I think it's gonna be under. I don't remember what I did with it. It was that bad. I don't even think I saved it into a correct folder. I'm just messing around in this one. Just trying some different stuff. That's all my code. I honestly don't know what I did with it. I thought it was one of these. What is this? Alright. I'm just gonna make a nav bar. I'm gonna make a responsive nav bar if I can, if I remember how to do it. I might use I might use Flexbox. Now I'm gonna have to look this up in my class because I don't use Flexbox a whole lot. I use this display block and float left and floats and stuff. So I'm gonna have to look some of this stuff up in my class because I don't remember exactly how to use Flexbox, but I know a little bit of it. Flexbox is like the new HTML5 ways of doing things. Make sure this is working. And I can do a background. So normally what you would do is, for example, let me just show what I mean. So let me see if I can find it on my class. I thought it was right here. Yeah, right here somewhere. Okay, so if I wanted to do a background, this is where you gotta know what you're doing type thing. So if I wanted to have a picture, so beach, right? So I want to add this picture to my website as a background, right? So I want to add this as my background. Okay, so if I do it this way, I would like to do it, ain't gonna work. It's gonna look horrible. So watch. I'm gonna show you the wrong way to do things and the correct way to do things. Sometimes you can do it this way, but it don't work out sometimes. What I mean is, let me save that. If I want to go in here and say, okay, body, background image, background, URL, no, background image, right? Background image, URL, beach, right? So there's our beach. First of all, it already looks horrible, right? And then I'll say, okay, background position, or background repeat, no repeat, background size, cover, background, yeah. So it does that, right? That looks, I mean, obviously it's not covering it. It's keeping the pixels and everything how it needs to be, but it doesn't work. the way you gotta do it is you have to go back into HTML. You have to grab a picture, and we can say, image source beach, and then I can do like beach photo. So if for whatever reason this photo can't get rendered, I'm just gonna say beach. If I would like to put like something over here, it'll just say beach. So I'm gonna put that like that. And now what you gotta do, we have a beach picture, right? So takes up the whole website. Now I can go in and edit the size. Now we can make it look like it's a part of the background. Make it look nice, right? So we can go in here. I think I'm forgetting something. Yeah, we can go in here and get a class. So we can go in here. We can get a class that we're just gonna call background image, I guess. So we'll get a class name with that. Now we can go in here. Now we can style it, right? Background. We need a background image, so you have to call a class with a dot. Right? Now we go here, and obviously we want the width to be 100%. So we can say 100%. That looks good, right? Then we're gonna say height. It's gonna be VH for view height. So we can say that. So 100% VH. And then we'll say object, I think fit cover. There we go. So that's how that works. That way works. The other way does not work. It can, depends on how the picture is and what it is. And how the pixels is and everything. So I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look at some of my code for my class to remember some of the stuff that I did for my displays. I think it's gonna be under this class. Let's see, we did navigation. So I do have certificates in programming. Front end development though, not back end development. I would love to be a full stack developer, but that would just take so much time to learn. Back end's like server side of stuff. Like if someone does an email, like I have a contact form right here, right? That I made, right? You know, you can go in and put your stuff in, whatever, right? This is what I do, front end. But when they go to send a message, it's not going nowhere. I don't know any back end knowledge. I have to have one of my friends that's a back end or full stack developer. He'll have to go in and add it. When they hit send, it'll go to whatever email we have in the back end for the server. I don't know back end stuff. I just can make front end stuff. It'd be nice to learn, but it's a whole different ball game for me. Now we'll come in here and we'll say, if I remember how to correctly, we're going to use HTML5, I think. So we can do nav, and then we can say class would be like, I don't know, navbar. So we'll name it navbar, and then we can get a div, which will be our container, and we can float that by itself to the left for the website name. So I can say .logo, and that'll give us, I'll generate a class for us. Then we can say, I don't know, Facebook. I don't know. Something, right? So I'm looking at some designs right now that I want to do for this navigation. I think I want it to be like a darker gray. Let me see. Go to Google Images. Google Images is your best friend. There's a website called CSS Battles. and where it's a website that generates a website for you, or like a navigation, whatever, and you gotta try to match what you see on screen over here in your code, and that's that's tough. It's tough. I be getting some good scores, but I be missing. I be missing some. I be messing up. I mean, I'm human. I mess up. I forget things. I have to go back and look at my code and figure out what I missed. Something so simple. So we'll get another. We'll get an unordered. Unordered. This stands for unordered list, and then we have order list, which would be LOL. So let me explain what that is. An unordered list is gonna be like let's say food, right? It puts a little bullet point. Let's say we have a grocery list. Then you want to use a order list, which would be eggs, milk, so on. That's gonna be like your grocery list. So you have list items and unordered list, right? So we're gonna use list. We're making a navigation, so we're gonna do unordered list, and then we're gonna need an ID for JavaScript, and well, we're gonna need a class. Yeah, we're gonna need nav links, and then ID of nav links, and then here we can go in here and then we'll type href. This will be where you go, right? So for example, if I want to go to Google, I can say Google here, right? And then I come over here to the href and say www.google.com, and this will take me to Google. Should. Boom. If I wanted to open up on a new tab, then I'll just have to come over here, and I think it's going to be target underscore blank, and that should open another tab when she does. So this is how links work. So for now, we'll say home, and then we can just copy these. We'll say about. We'll say news, and then we'll say contact. Now we're going to get our hamburger menu going. So we need to go, we're going to keep that in the nav, and we'll say .hamburger, and then we'll get our ID of hamburger. And then here we'll get a spam, and we'll get a couple of spams. This will be for our little hamburger menu that we're going to design in CSS. Then we need to go in here and we'll add our scripts, which is nav. There we go. That's all we need. So I'm gonna have to look up some of the JavaScript on my classes. The JavaScript ain't that hard, I don't think. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So we're gonna need two variables. I know that. Yeah. Okay. So like I said, it's been a while since I've done websites like consistently. Like I used to do it every day, all day long. I still do websites for people sometimes, but I'm not as fast as I used to be because there's so much to remember. It's like learning a whole new language again. And if you take breaks, you just forget things. This is what it is. That's why I take notes of everything. I have literally notes of everything I do. Like, tax him, new locations, taxing. This is all my call out. This is all my work. I mean, I keep literally tracks of everything I do. I made a new location for Vinewood Hills. I marked that down. I didn't finish writing anything in it. Some of my code. I mean, I literally keep notes of everything. So now we need to get all the padding, the margin be reset. So we'll say padding 0, margin 0. And now we can start designing our. Well, let's get a basic. Your basic fonts. You know, your stands for just your basic fonts, right? Arial. So we'll do a font family, and then we'll just say, there we go. So that's gonna be our basic font. So if we can't render this one in the website, if we can't render it in, we'll render this one in. If we can't render this one in, we'll render this one in. So these will be your 3 available fonts that we can use. Now we're gonna design our navigation bar. So we have a nav with HTML5. I don't really use HTML5. I normally do my navs with div. So I normally do like a div, which is like a container, class, navbar. But we're doing it with HTML5. So we're gonna use nav, and then we named it navbar. So we can take this, copy that. We can come down here, dot navbar, and this is where we can start displaying our stuff. So we're gonna be just displaying flicks, or display flicks, justify content in between, space between. Yeah, that should be right. So we want to get this one. We want to keep this over here for our the name of our website. We want our navigation to be separated from that. And now we're going to do align items center. And then we'll do, I don't know, padding. What's a good padding? Like 1530? How's that look? Let's see, 15, about 20. So, 20. Okay, so that gives it off the wall a little bit. That gives us some room to breathe. We'll do 1530. Alright. And then we'll do, what's a good background? I want to do like a dark gray. So, that works. What about, that's black. And then we could do, we need the color to be white. That actually might be kind of a big of a navigation background, but we could roll with it. I could probably bring it down a little bit. If I want to bring it down, no, we'll roll with that. So now we'll do dot logo, and then we can just give it, I don't know, your simple like bold, and then we could like we do a font bold, so we could do like a font size, and then we could just say what, 30? Oh no, 25. We could roll with that. Font weight. This would put bold. There we go. Facebook. So now we'll go ahead and design our links. So we want them to be flex and get rid of these bullet points. And we want to give them a gap. We want it to be horizontally for desktop, okay? So we can say we can say desktop menu. And then here we can say, I think we named it dot nav links. So in here we'll say we want to get rid of these bullet points, right? We'll say lists, none. We want to display flex, and we want the gap, try 30 pixels. 25 pixels. 25 pixels. We can live with that. Now we're going to design these links right here, or we're going to change these links up. So now we're going to say dot nav links a. And then here we'll do, we'll say color to be white. Text decoration. Get rid of this other underlines. I think that could be none. And then we'll do a font size of 18. My God. This is still going. I'm keeping my computer on all night. I don't know. Steam's been giving me some issues lately with games. Whatever. Oh, shoot. Alright, so now we are going to design. I'm looking to see how I want to design this. So I want these to collapse down on smaller screens. I want these to be hidden on smaller screens, obviously, right? So now what we're going to do is let's design the hamburger menu. Let's get that. So I think a good size for that would be, let's see, hamburger display. Let's display it. Let's display first the hamburger, okay? And I think width for hamburgers are usually 30 pixels. I think. So no. Wait. Cursor pointer. Cursor pointer. And then we'll do flex direction column. So we'll say flex direction column, I think. And then what we'll do is we need a gap of like 6 pixels maybe. We'll have to see how it looks. I'm not sure how it's gonna look. Cause now we're gonna design our actual menu, for mobile devices. Cause I have these empty spans in here. You know, they're just, you can just put random text in it, right? But we're gonna use that to create our menu. I could just go to Google and get a picture, but I like to make my stuff from scratch. So we have to go back in here, and then we'll say dot hamburger span. So, and then we'll say, I think they're usually like a width of 30 pixels. Wait, I messed something up here? Hold on, something don't seem right. That should be right. Trying to get it to pop up, and it's not popping up. We'll say width. We'll just go with the width, and then we'll say height. Those are usually 4 pixels. I'll probably because I have to change the background. And then we'll say, I don't know, background color, white. And then we'll say border radius. We'll give it like a 5 pixels. See div class hamburger ID hamburger span. It's in my nav, so why is it not popping up? All right. So we need to get a media query max width of desktop would be like what 768 is desktop, I think. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. I think that's about a desktop screen, huh? And then we'll say dot nav link. We want it to be hidden. The links to be hidden on mobile devices. We want these to be hidden on mobile devices. I don't remember how to do all this. Been a while. 7 pixels. Then we'll say dot nav links. And then what we'll do, we'll make it position of absolute. And then we'll say top to be 70 pixels. So we could say like 70 pixels. I should put it all the way up to the top. Off the screen, right? And then we'll say right to be 0. I want it to fade in from the right side of the screen. And we'll put width 200 pixels. And then what we'll do is background for that would be 333, like a darker, like that. I want it to be off the screen here. Let's do none. And then flex direction column. And then what we'll do is gap of 20 pixels. And then what we can do is we can move it up And then we're going to try to move up the screen so when it comes back in, we can fade it in. And I need to get it up here. I think I can maybe do a margin top. So 20 pixels, padding, 20 pixels. So we'll bring the padding up and then display none. But for now, display it like that. And then I'm going to move that to the top. I think I could do it with like margin top minus 20. Minus 10. Minus 11. There we go. So minus 11 will get us there. And then, so we're going to do that. Padding 20, Madden. And then what we'll do is we'll get display none. Like that. Dot nav links. Dot show. Wait. Dot nav links. Dot show. And then we'll say, I think we'll just say display flex. So that's going to show when toggle. That's going to show the links when toggled. And then we're going to say dot hamburger. And then we're going to say display flex. That don't look right. What happened there? That don't look right at all. So width, 30 pixels. Gap 6. Display none. Cursor pointer. Flex direction. Let me see. Width, 30 pixels. I'm so confused why it's doing that. Dot hamburger span. Hamburger span. I don't see where it's messing up at. I'm not gonna look it up yet. I'm gonna try to figure it out. Display none. Cursor pointer. We want that. I think flex direction column. Gap 6. Okay. I'm about to look it up. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm a little stuck right now. Width, height, width, height. Yeah, that's right. Is it because Something's not right. Okay, it's not. Wait. It's not going. Okay. So I didn't think I see what's going on here. It's not going. It's not displaying it as a block. So something's wrong up here. Flex. That should be. I didn't fix it. Navbar. Flex. Dude, I don't know. It should work. Never had this issue before. I mean, it's not going vertically for me. Yes. With 30 pixels, how I want it. What if I did? Hmm. Just trying different things here. Okay, so bring that back. I don't see where it is messing up at. Everything looks fine. I might have to look it up. I don't know why it's doing that. I've never had that issue before. Let's see. Display 9. So. Weird. So. That didn't even work. Okay. Why is it doing that? Let me see. Let me look it up. I have no choice. Let's see. Let me Google it. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I tried that. It doesn't work. Uh, display flex direction. Justify content center. Ah, I see the issue now. I'm an idiot. Wow. Okay. Man, check your spelling, Brian. I'm about to say everything looked fine. I didn't want to Google it, but I'm like, nothing else I was doing was working. That's looking more like it. I misspelled. I put burgers. So we got that, and if I go back up to show this. No, to show our links, which should be under. This is how the links will look. Now let's try to animate this. I think I want to animate this. Make it when you open it, make it animate. I can remember how to do that. So I might have to look this one up because I've been in a while since I've done this, but I maybe not have to look it up. So we're gonna grab a dot hamburger. We're gonna say active. So what we need to do is we need to get an active class, right? We don't have to, but we can. So what I'll do actually, let me see if this will work. Dot hamburger. Let me see. Hamburger. Let me think about this. So what I need to do is I get first one and second one. I need a minus 40 degrees and then 40 degrees. I think. So we got hamburger dot active. Okay, I'm gonna do this here. Hamburger display. So I think the way we can animate it is I think we have to come into here. We have to give all these a class. Unfortunately, we could say like line. Maybe we can say line for all of them. I think. We can say line for all those, right? Man, I'm trying to remember how to do this. Hamburger. So we're gonna say display none. Flex direction is gonna be column. Gap is gonna be 6. We got a cursor pointer, right? So what else am I missing? Z index 999. You can always keep it at the top. All right. And then what we'll do is say hamburger dot line. All right, because we just made a new class. And what we'll do, we'll say 28. We'll bring that down a little bit. And then what we'll do is we can select 3 pixels. That's just gonna narrow it down. And then we need to give it a background of white, which we already have. And then what we'll do is we got a border. Let's just give it a smaller border. I don't remember how to do this. And then we need a transition. So transition all. And then we'll say 0.4 second ease. Okay, I like that. Now we're gonna grab our active class. So we can say dot hamburger dot active. That's something that's built into CSS. Then we'll say dot line, and then we'll say nth child is going to be 1, and then if I remember correctly, I think it's gonna be like 40 degrees. We're gonna rotate 45 degrees, I think. So we'll say transform, translate Y, because this is gonna be Y. Yeah, translate Y, and then we'll say 9 pixels, right? And then what we'll do is rotate at 45 degrees. Alright, so transform, translate Y, 9 pixels, rotate 45 degrees. Alright, dot hamburger, translate. This is going to be, the other line. So, wait, dot active, hamburger dot, wait, dot active, dot line, NTH2, opacity, and then we'll put that to 0. Opacity 0. And then when you do minus 45, dot hamburger, dot active, and then transform, translate Y, minus 9 pixels. We'll say 9 pixels for that. Rotate minus 45 degrees. So that's gonna work once we add the code in. We have to add the JavaScript for it to work. Hopefully. Let's just start adding some JavaScript in. I'm gonna have to look the JavaScript up because it's been a while. I'm not fluent in JavaScript, but let's just go with it. Const. We could say hamburger. We could be anything we want to name it. We would say hamburger equals document dot get element by ID, and then we named it what, hamburger. Make sure I don't misspell it. And then we'll say const. We'll grab a const again. Nav links equals document dot get element by ID, nav links. There's our nav links. Now we're gonna call it, now we'll say hamburger, and then we're gonna add an event listener. This is gonna be, we're looking for a click, so we can just say click. And then what we'll do is we'll space these out like this, and then we'll say if it's equal or greater to, like that. Now we're gonna make the animation work. Hopefully it's not jacked up. Hopefully it works when we do the active class, because now we have an active class in here. We're calling our active class, so hopefully I did this right. I think it's 45 degrees and minus 45 degrees. I'm not sure. I want this to be like an X when you open it up. We're about to find out if it works. Probably not. We're going to find out. So we're going to say hamburger dot class list dot toggle, and we're looking for our class active. So let's see how it looks. Hey, it worked. I wasn't sure about that. I was not sure about that. So it worked after I grabbed the 1, 2, 3, 45 degrees, and then we're doing the same thing here that we did here, but we're minusing it. We want them to cross like an X, right? Now we need our menu to open up, our menu, right? So we can do that by come back in here. Now we made a variable called navlinks, and we have it connected to our HTML ID of navlinks that's stored in here. These are our links. If I remember how to do this correctly. Nav links, and we're just gonna be another class list, dot class list, and we are looking for a dot toggle, and then we're going to say show because we have a class in our CSS called show right here. This is going to show our nav links. Should, right? Alright, see how it looks. So we have our desktop version. That's not good. Why is that showing on desktop? Let's go look at that. This should not show on desktop. Except none. Hamburger. Uh. None. Okay, we'll fix that. Let's get the menu to work on mobile first. And there it goes. But it works. We could probably have a hover effect. That animation looks pretty clean. I'm not sure why this ain't why this is not going away on desktop though. Wait a second. Huh. I didn't fix it. I thought that was gonna fix it. Oh, I think I did. Yep. There we go. That's looking more like it. Finally done. Took me a little while, a lot longer than normally would take me, but I'm a little rusty. Don't look bad. If I add a hover effect, so like if I want to add a hover effect to these, I think I can go in here. Nav links hover color orange. What? Oh. Or I can say text decoration underline color orange. That looks clean. That looks clean, boys. And then you go down. I love that animation. That looks nice. Well, the game is finally done. Finally done, I think. Let me see if I can start it. Finally done. Oh my god. Well, I'll be playing all day tomorrow when I get home. I need to see if they have a Hunter Call of the Wild full screen borderless. They gotta have a full screen borderless. So I'm gonna see if that works. Hold on. Finally, it's in full screen borderless. Nice. 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 I can address my chat whenever. Dropped them. Sweet. Alright, well, let's get off. Ready to go tomorrow. Ready to go, finally. Alright.